Yes, we are live. Great. Hello, everyone. A very good evening and warm welcome. We are meeting after a really long time. Sorry for the big gap that we took, but now we are back with our sessions. I am Rishali Sheth, co founder, product head, Orange Slates, and I have with me my colleague Gunjan.
Namaste. I am the product manager at Orange Slates, and
So,
we are
yes,
here.
we are here. Okay, great. So, what we are going to do today is we are going to look at some really interesting stuff. We always say, right, we should know our learners, we should know how they learn, we should know our students, we should know how our class dynamics are, and so on. So, we are going to do something about that. And Gunjan, over to you.
Thank you, Rushali. Let me share my slide. So we are looking at a concept called VARK. I think most of the educators know about this, and we've read about it, and we've took. So we are taking a different angle on VARK. We will start with an activity with each of these VARK, and then we'll see how it proceeds. So V is for visual, obviously. A auditory, R is reading and writing, and K is kinesthetic. Most of you know what it is, but let's see how we can do it in classrooms. So, Rushali, are you ready for some fun? So we are doing a memory
Absolutely.
game.
Okay. So, today I am the student, and Gunjan is going to identify what's my work. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see that. So we'll do a memory game. I'll give whoever is on YouTube and Rushali 30 seconds. Look at this picture very carefully and remember it. So your time starts now. I have a timer with me.
Okay. Mm, like balloon, cupcake, carrot, bed, tree, cycle, strawberry. Okay.
So 20 seconds gone.
Okay. Those who have joined us on YouTube, you can also take your time and go through this image. I'm done.
And your 30 seconds are over.
Oh, okay.
So Roshali, now can you just list down whatever we saw?
Okay. So there was a flower. There was a butterfly.
You write it down so
Oh, I
that
have to write it down. Okay.
yeah.
1 second. Sorry. Okay. So there was a flower, a butterfly, then house, bed, chair. There were shoes. There was a cupcake, carrot, strawberry. There was a brush, cycle, tree.
Wow. You
That's
remember
that's
quite
it.
a bit.
That's it. That's what I remember.
Let's see the picture again.
Oh, I forgot the hot air balloon, balloon and umbrella. Yeah, I missed that. And mittens also.
So
And
again,
duck was
duck.
nowhere near my memory.
So again, if you now do little metacognition is thinking about your thinking. How you remembered is, I am sure you made some connections. If you
Ye-
see bed and
Yeah, the
chair were
bed,
together,
chair, house I wrote together.
yeah, because it's in the house.
Yeah.
Then very clearly butterfly
And
and
flower was my first thing.
flower was together. So they're not together in the picture, right?
Yeah.
But there is some metacognition happens that does with everybody. So
Hmm.
you similar pictures you try to club together and remember, and why you missed out. Lot of people miss out carrot.
Uh,
Lot of people miss out balloon because का कहीं connection नहीं बन रहा है. Unless you make balloon and hot air balloon का connection, right? So this is
right.
how we think. So visual, what we say is more than just seeing. It is making connections in your head using that visual. Now let's do a hearing activity.
Okay.
So what I will do is I will say some names.
Hmm.
At least I think let me say it twice.
Okay.
So you remember them And then
I have to
you,
write it down while you are saying, or
no, obviously, you have to just listen to them. And then later remember it's a memory game, right? So just
okay.
listen, no cheating.
No cheating.
Just remember and twice, and then use whatever you remember.
Okay.
So here it goes. One is melody, opera, piece, rap, rock, singing, soul, classical, folk. I'll
Okay.
repeat again. Melody, opera,
Uh,
piece,
peace.
rap, rock,
Oh,
singing, soul, classical, folk. So 9 words.
okay.
Melody, opera, piece, rap, rock, singing, soul, classical.
Okay. Should I write now?
Yeah.
Okay. Melody, rap, rock, opera, classical, melody, rap, rock, opera, classical.
That's okay. You remember
Yeah,
most of
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah, you remember most of it. So the only thing you missed was, peace.
Huh,
Again, peace
peace.
because you don't connect it with music, right?
Huh, peace. I could
And
not
there was
remember.
tune. So
Tune also I could not remember. Right.
yeah, so that's okay. That is
Yeah.
that you're a good student.
Thank you.
So now let us read and remember.
Okay.
So these are 20 words.
Yeah.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Read
All right.
them and then remember them.
Okay. Stir fry, ghee, boil, caramelize, frying, bake, cook, carbohydrate, protein, fats, butter, cabbage soup, corn oil, soda, honey, garlic, ginger, tamarind, ghee. Oh, stir fry, boil, fry, cook, bake, carbohydrate, protein, fats, butter, ghee, garlic, oil, corn soup, cabbage. Okay.
Done?
Yes, I guess.
Okay, now you write it down.
Okay. Um, bake, cook, grind, carbohydrate, protein, fats, ghee, oil, tamarind, garlic, ginger. Uh, I forgot the starting words only.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think I remember 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 words.
Not bad. So we had
Stir fry boil.
several.
I could not remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you compare with the first exercise, do you
Yeah.
think you did better in visual and uh, words and reading writing?
Right.
But do you think it is fair? These are much more complicated words, right?
Actually, words are very simple, but yeah, you're right. To
Yeah.
remember, connect it, this becomes difficult. Yes.
Yeah, so you can. So do you think you are a visual learner? Just think, you know, I'm not asking you. So most of us think we are visual learners. Most of us think we are reading, writing. So again,
Right.
now
Right.
let's do some activity.
Okay.
I want you to do this. Want to clap, snap,
Yeah.
wink, boom is this, shh, kaboom. Let's do
Okay.
quickly.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. You will also do with me, right?
Yeah, so it's written there, so you'll not forget.
Yeah. Okay.
Tap,
Snap, wink,
snap,
boom,
wink,
shh.
boom, shh, kaboom. Clap, clap, snap, wink, boom, shh, Ba-boom.
Clap, snap,
Clap,
bing,
snap,
boom,
bing,
boom.
boom,
Oh,
ba-boom.
I do this very well.
Yeah. So it takes a time to get into a routine, but you remember.
Yeah, I get into these routine very fast.
Yeah. So why do you think we did all this?
But it was
What is
fun
the
though.
point? It is
It was
fun, yeah,
fun.
but why did we do it?
Yeah, so teachers, yeah, of course, it was fun to do. I loved it. But there is a reason that we did all these activities, and there was a reason for each and every activity that we did here. There was a meaning behind it. And yes, Gunjan, please.
So what the VARK model, as we have heard again and again, it says that you can divide the whole क्या बोलते हैं, कायनात into four kinds of learners: visual, oral. People who oral is basically who people who learn to listen. Some people know. I remember the lecture उस दिन टीचर ने क्या बोला था, मैंने एग्जाम में याद किया and लिख दिया. So those are oral learners. Then there is reading, writing learners, people who like to read articles and blogs and then learn. And there are kinesthetic learners who who'd like to do and learn. And obviously they are left behind because most of our studies are reading, writing, visual. So this was a model taken by Neil Fleming in 1987. Obviously, he did not want to divide people into these boxes of we learn multimodal. It's not possible we learn only one way. And so what we did in the first exercise was visual learning. So we did a memory test, but obviously in your classroom you don't do a memory test, but you show videos, you do concept maps. So those are some visual learning, but that doesn't mean that when you're doing visual, your oral is left behind, right? When you're watching a video, you're also listening to it. Sometimes you're taking notes too along with it. So, it also becomes kinesthetic. Kinesthetic doesn't mean only sports. It also means getting involved or experiencing something. So you do group activities, that is kinesthetic learning, right? So VARK model need not only be used to identify what kind of learner my student is. In a class of 40, if you start trying to find out कि वो बच्चे को कौन सा ज्यादा पसंद है मैं उसको वैसे पढ़ाऊं, it is in Indian classrooms impossible. So what
Yeah,
we
and also
study,
even us, right? So as we also learn, we also watch movies, we read books, we read newspapers. Sometimes we read something and we remember in newspapers, and then we recollect and we give that as a case study when we are in school.
true,
So even adults, we cannot
adults, yeah,
categorize कि नहीं वृशाली is only a visual learner. मतलब मैं सुन के तो सीख ही नहीं सकती. In fact,
yeah,
अभी तो podcast is a big thing, right? And I actually listen to podcasts and it helps me. I use those cases
yeah.
when I'm doing my trainings. But yes,
Great,
you're right. I do like to learn. I like to learn using visual tools.
yeah,
But doesn't
because
mean that
yeah,
the reading or the writing doesn't help. In
yeah.
meetings where we go, or even when I note down, I have to take notes. Then only I
Hmm.
remember.
So
It's
we
like
learn multimodal, all of us. And there is actually no study which says that if you learn from your preferred learning style, you will learn better. Believe me, there is no study saying that. We'll show you a video which will throw more light on it later. But according to us, it is better we use this VARK model into the content which we are taking. So we choose one of the strategies which applies more to the more, to the content. For example, maths is something you can connect it to real life, to a pizza, so it becomes visual. So it's more important that we start now categorizing our content which we are teaching. We are all teachers, we are all content creators, and then use these strategies to actually uh, teach well.
right.
Now
So
let us.
mainly just to add to what Kunjan said, that as an educator, as a teacher, if you have to do something separately, additional, it will not be possible. It's very difficult to sustain it, right? But if it becomes part of your lesson plan, that is the best. Because suppose if you're doing an activity in classroom, so we all do group activities in classrooms. For example, like if fractions is an example that we are taking, right? Fraction, where we ask children to create a circle and then we tell them, okay, now fold it into half. Now this is one by two. This is 1/4. How do we, so that paper and actually folding on paper is actually visual kinesthetic both.
True.
Right? You're actually integrating VARK in your activity, not as a separate thing, and different kinds of learners will always learn and they're also listening. Fold the paper into half. When you fold the paper into half, what you see is 1/2. So it's not something which is additional rocket science, something very difficult. Oh my God, how to, no, it's not. Multimodal learning, integrating in your content, integrating in your lesson plan, integrating in your activity. So you're going from a broad term to a narrowing down कि आप आपके activity में, आपके lesson plan में, you can make it a part of it. So it's not something separate. So every child have multiple chance to learn the same thing.
True.
Yeah.
So this is why we did the whole activities. We started with visual, and then we, I said some words which Roshali remembered, and then we, she read some words, then she remembered, and we did a small kinesthetic activity. So this is why we just wanted to show you that, how learning style is different from multimodal. Very simple. You can read it. So basically, the way you prefer is your learning style, but multimodal is something which engages all your sensory functions. So it is more, richer. So these are some strategies. We will send you obviously the list of these strategies. Will not, this is an exhaustive list. But what you can do visually is we use geos. Lot of us now, I think, especially in Maharashtra board, after each lesson there is a geo in the textbook itself. So with NEP also saying experiential learning. So you can use geos as a summary of your lesson, or to create connections. You can use podcast, or just teachers just say read this para. That is also somebody is reading and others are listening. So that is auditory. You can use audiobooks to engage your students, or you can actually go ahead and ask each of them to make podcasts. So that takes care of your auditory kind of strategies. Then textbooks, we have been reading and writing. I think I need not go in detail. There are so many things happening. There's textbook, there is worksheet and cue cards and whatnot we are all using. The most, I think, challenging part people think is kinesthetic. How do I put kinesthetic learning in my lessons? So simple, even if you are teaching history, you can put projects, you can put groups, you can divide people in groups, you can ask them to do, do a role play. The whole, you're teaching the same thing, but you're adding visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. You're combining things in a role play and doing it. So these are some strategies which you can do. Here is one video which we want to show you, and then we'll do a small activity with the video and then wrap up the session. Let me show you the video. Here it goes. Can you hear it? Just a second.
नहीं नहीं लाइव साउंड नहीं आ रहा था शेयर Gunjan, you're on mute.
Just a second, I'll share my screen again with sound.
Yes, with sound.
Yeah, here we were.
Say what? It's true, but I'll get to that in a moment. First of all, what are learning styles? Unless you've slept through every single class you've ever attended, you'll know it's the idea that everyone has a preferred way to take in information. If you're taught or you study using your preferred style, you'll learn more effectively. This idea has been around since the 1970s, and it's been continued on by well-meaning teachers and diligent students aiming for effective learning. We all want to learn faster and more effectively, that's no surprise. Unfortunately, there is no credible evidence that learning styles exist. In fact, the best evidence indicates the opposite. Every student will have different levels of ability, interest, and background knowledge, but not learning styles. Research shows that when people have a favourite style of presentation, it's usually a preference for a type of task or subject they have a high ability for and already feel successful at. If you're good at music, you might think you're an auditory learner. Or if you're artistic, you might think you're visual. You might prefer to learn in a particular way, but there's no evidence that it will help you learn more effectively. When researchers now look at students who are using their preferred style, the results of those students aren't any better than students who are not using their preferred style. But here's the really crazy thing. Up to 90% of teachers still believe learning styles are real. Here's a couple of interesting tests for you to try. Ask your teacher if they support the idea of learning styles. Search Google or YouTube for learning styles and see how many of the top results still push this myth. And here's a good one to check out. Go to the website for any college or university and search for learning styles. You might be amazed how many research institutions teach something that's been debunked by research. So why hasn't the message gotten out? Why is this myth still perpetuated? There are a number of reasons, but I think a big one is because academic and scientific researchers are typically not great at marketing. It's like when a newspaper makes a false claim or statement on their front page. Everybody hears about the original claim and thinks it's true. Unfortunately, when the newspaper retracts that statement and apologises for their error, it only appears on page 8. Nobody knows or cares. So if learning styles aren't real, what's the solution? What's the most effective?
So that was the video which shows you learning styles. So what we will do is we'll do an activity relating to this video of what we saw, and we will see how we can use VARK in class. So are you ready? Let's go to the next slide. So we'll do a graphic organizer called predict and infer. So basically, we will write what we actually saw in the video. We will then write what we think, what we think the video wanted to say. And then we will infer for it, basically make our own conclusions. So what did we see in the video? We saw that there's no proof of using preferred learning style.
I also want to see. What I saw is the person who does research is not a good marketer.
True. So it also says success is ability, interest, and knowledge. So you are good at music, you will say I am an auditory. So it's your ability, not your learning style, right? So and then 90% of us just believe that learning style exists. Believe me, I also believed it maybe 2 months till before two. I'm not saying I'm not debunking the whole thing like the video did, but there is some sense in what they said, right? What do you think? I think this is my thinking is, individual preferences, how they like to learn. So for me, I might like to learn some content visually. अभी recipe देखना है तो आज हम सब YouTube में जाके we see the recipe and make it. We no longer go to recipe books. But maybe if we want to research, we will write a research paper, we will go ahead and read 5, 10 research papers. So this is how you yourself, discern what resource is better for you. Again, success is love. equal to hard work and passion. कितना भी learning style बोलते हैं, कितना भी कुछ बोलते हैं, finally it is your hard work which helps. And VARK as a framework is useful. We cannot just say ki don't use it and don't, it's a debunk it and don't use it. No, use it to create your multimodal learning resources. Use it to, to make activities which are more reachable to students. Finally, what do we infer? So again, we need to, it's important to design content which is multimodal. You have a PPT, you have a video, a lot of us are doing Mentimeter and Padlets. So let's be multimodal. And it's also important to learn about learning styles and how people and their cognition. For example, in the first activity, we saw how Rushali's mind was working. She was making connection between two and then remembering them as pairs, right? So this is a deep understanding on how our connections are made in the mind and how you should present the content together, which is easier to remember, right? So it's important to know all these learning styles. Maybe VARK, Gold, XYZ. So many learning styles are there. I think 89 people have tried to define learning styles in different forms. It's important to know them so that you understand the process, cognitive process of students. And also, most important, to think about strategies and small activities which will help you engage students better. Finally, at Orange Slates, we believe our session should be so that you can use them next day, right? So that is why we want VARK to be applicative for you, right?
And we
That's it
want
for
you to actually change the entire teaching learning process. We want you to look at how the classroom engagement between the teacher and learner, the relation between teacher and learner works. So it should not be that teachers are catering to only one thing in the content, and it becomes very monotonous for the teacher as well as students. So how can we add different activities? How can we add different engagements and make the learning more fun, more involved, making learners more involved in the learning process. So yeah, that's about it. Any last thoughts, Kunjan?
That's it. I think VARK can be used in many various formats. You can have use different graphic organizers. You can use different strategies. Uh, I think the world is vast, and any comments and suggestions from the teachers themselves of how they are using VARK would be so useful for other
Absolutely.
teachers, right?
Absolutely. In fact, you can put it in the comments here. So, whoever teachers who are actually looking at this video now or who will be looking at it later, you can put it in the comments about how actually you are going to integrate VARK in your content, in your daily teaching, and do share best practices here. It'll be great for the community, entire community of educators. So yes, that's about it for today.
Thank you.
Definitely visit Orange Slate's site for more self-paced courses that we have and utilize your time in learning. These are really short courses, application-oriented short courses that will help you to learn at your own pace. So you can visit www.orangeslates.com and go to courses. We also have blogs. So if you are writers, if you're content creators, do share your blogs and we can publish it on our platform for sure. And you can visit our Facebook page, Instagram page, LinkedIn page at the rate Orange Slates. You can just search. You can see the spelling of Orange Slates here. You can search Orange Slates and you'll be able to find us on social media. You can put comments over there about anything that you are looking for, and we'll definitely bring a program on that topic. So yes,
Thank
that's
you so
about
much.
us. Thank you so much, Gunjan, for a lovely. I love the
Thank you,
engagement, and
Roshali.
I am a visual learner. I am putting myself in that bucket right now.
You think
Anyway,
so?
yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Gunjan. Thank you so much, dear participants, dear teachers, and we'll see you again very, very, very soon. Till then, take care. Happy learning.